Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott MacKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, welcome industrial professionals. Thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk and your continued support of this wonderful platform that celebrates you. You are the hero in this story. You are bold, brave, you dare greatly. You innovate, you collaborate. You are solving problems each and every day. That's why you are making the world a better place. That's why we just celebrate you here on Industrial Talk. We are broadcasting from Fab Tech here in Orlando, and it is, well, it's getting better. It's wrapping up. People are just sort of milling about the place. Some people are packing up. You know, it just is what it is. It's the end of a show, but it was great. And because you weren't here, that means you need to be here next year, and you get to meet incredible people like Chris. He is with a company called FX3D. So let's get cracking with the conversation. He's giving me a couple of things to hand out, too. This is kind of stuff. Let's get cracking. Hey, Chris. And we both got the memo to wear white pants.
We did, Scott.
Yeah. And we go to the same barber. Doggone, it looks like I'm looking in the mirror.
I know, except a slightly better looking version.
Oh, shut the front door. that ain't gonna fly at all. Check this out, listener. Just check this out. Let me just flip. So I got that. We're gonna be talking about that. And then the best part, you handed out these things right here. They're magnets for holding down the job, the project, right?
That's right.
And of course, me being a guy, I just think the magnets are cool.
Can't quit clicking them.
Yeah, you can't quit clicking them.
Say that 3 times.
No, I can't. Absolutely. Hey, did you have a good show?
Awesome show. This is our 3rd time to Fab Tech.
3rd time, so you started in Atlanta.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Chicago.
Yep.
And actually this time, it actually felt almost like Chicago weather when I woke up when it's supposed to be Florida.
Yeah, see?
It's like in the 50s.
Cool. Yeah.
Crazy.
Did you take a helicopter to go to the west side?
I did not. The wife drugged me shopping.
So you went to an outlet mall?
Thank you, yes.
Yep. A common tale.
You know the boss.
Yeah, a common tale. Yeah, but the venues, you know, they're big because they're called concourses. They're not just buildings, they're concourses. So you know that's going to be the case. All right, before we get into the conversation, a little background would be great. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. So Chris Harbaugh. I am Arkansas planted there. I'm one of 13 kids.
Wow,
yes.
That's so cool.
8 sisters, 4 brothers.
Christmas is fun.
It's Christmas is nuts because literally when you would trim the tree, to put the presents around, as time went on, it turned into a stick and a star at the top and just present mountain.
That is so cool.
But fortunate to have 13 kids was a reason that I think my dad started the business. Mundo Tech, which is an aerospace company that does tube bending, probably because he had so many kids and really a lot of, I guess, free labor at the time.
Yeah, you.
I know me. So, anyway, so out of Northwest Arkansas, Bentonville, Walmart headquarters area, been working for our business for over 40 years.
You had a name change then?
Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, FX3D, I came up with about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
As a necessity for the amount of fixtures that we were starting to need due to some pretty high-profile contracts with a very amazing military aircraft that one of the biggest company makes.
Right. So precision was the name of the game.
Precision and cutting down time and de-escalation of pricing because our customer said, you're going to drop your prices. So we had to come up with a better, faster way to make parts. And we kind of found out that you can only trim so much off of cycle time, so we kind of focused on indirect labor like inspection to try to speed things up.
Take us through that.
Sure.
I want to know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so in the tube bending world arena,
Which, if you want to kick the tires of tube benders around here, you can. They're here bending tubes.
All day.
All day. They're tubes everywhere.
It's, there's actually a lot of our people who we bought our tube bending equipment from are here, like BLM, Horn, great companies. There's a lot of them. So anyways, when we really started going through this process of trying to get all these parts manufactured, we were having to scan every single part for 100% inspection, which took too much time. And so it was, okay, we have to probably end up getting fixtures so that we can inspect them on the fly, which would be faster in our case than scanning each individual part with a laser. So after we priced out fixtures for $500, we were well over $1 million. And we didn't have the time or really the money to say, let's invest this into a program they're already situated in for a several-year contract. So after a bit of collaboration, we came up with the idea, let's print a fixture, which is great. It's a really small part, like this big. And so we said, if we can inspect it in this little fixture, that's one less operation we have to do.
So you're, I'm sorry, because I have to jump in. So you have this fixture, and then you can inspect it in the fixture by just placing the part in there.
Correct.
And instead of trying to scan. So you create these 3D fixtures to be able to dump in there and then say, yep, it matches. Nope, it doesn't.
That's exactly correct. It's a go, no-go gauge. And what we ended up doing is, so the small one worked, right, because we could print it. Problem was, we didn't have a printer big enough to make something like 4 feet long with 12 bends in it. So we ended up taking our well table and said, if we can take this big fixture and break it up into a lot of smaller parts like turns, bends, and angles and a part, and make actually multiple pieces to it, somehow put it together, we could actually achieve the same thing and still print it in-house. And that's where we came up with really the modular 3D printed fixtures that we're using today in FX3D.
How are you manufacturing these fixtures?
Yeah, so we have our own print farm in-house.
Is this additive?
Yes, absolutely, thanks. A lot of it's going to be PLA.
What's PLA stand for?
Pretty long adjective.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a poly material, and I really should know this off the top of my head.
It is. It's the feedstock that goes into it and prints it out?
Yes.
Got it.
Honest bull. Thank you for saving me, Scott. I wasn't sure it was the lights or the pressure.
I was like, I don't know.
Don't steer me down that road.
Yeah.
No, so we're going to use a PLA and for the plastic ones, right? But we're also going to use laser sintering to do metal fixture components in areas where we may have to weld or something. So we developed a big print farm, probably 30 printers, and it keeps growing. Matter Hackers has been a huge help to us, providing all of our printers, all of our PLA material.
Yeah.
And outside of that, we ended up, really being able to bring these fixtures to a place to where we'd make our own tables. That's like a grid table, pegboard, so to speak, which everything's going to get aligned onto. So really what we're doing is, with our print farm, we're literally going from print farm to table, because we're in Arkansas, so I guess we can say that.
Print farm, it's like what is it, farm to table?
That's it.
It's print farm to table.
On the digital twin
I didn't even
side.
think that. That is so cool. So as I look at these diagrams, do you do any sort of fabrication like machining, or is it all print farm type of product?
You know what? The lion's share of what we're doing for the FX3D is going to be centered around solutions that really are geared more towards the tubing side. Although we have really expanded quite a bit, adding on the ability to do the same thing for sheet metal components or major assemblies. And for us, the biggest thing is we've been able to, with our engineers and data that we're either developing or provided 3D in a 3D model is we're now able to take just about any type of item, product, and create a digital twin of the part and also a digital twin of the fixture.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to run down the road of looking forward of let's just not have the digital thread of future industry be just a digital twin. I'm sitting here thinking, if you got to do a part that you are furnished a fixture from 1963 for some old aircraft, and you've got to have a fixture from Virginia shipped you to California to do this one part for inspection because that's how they based it, there's a lot of costs there, and time, and inventory. So we're really trying to develop also a print-on-demand inventory moving forward with working in digital twin environments, or for customers who just have a lot of warehouse space and it's been taken up with all these massive fixtures on the wall. So we can really break them down to almost like more like a library.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So instead of sending the physical component, like here's a tube and send it out, get it in whatever you send it to the client, you're able to do it from a digital perspective and allow them to see it and experience it and then be able to translate that into the real world.
Exactly. Which could really be, I feel like, a very good basis looking forward. We have either customers or allies in different countries to where it just may not be practical to ship a fixture over there. So, everything's going over the radio waves with being able to digitally send over the fixtures and allow our customers to also print their own.
Are you able to use the digital twin technology in such a way that you can run some simulations in the sense of saying, okay, we want to bend it and do it this way, but here's another way of being able to do it, and maybe it's more effective this way? Or are you getting to that point where you can play around with it and say, this is the optimal design based off of what we know, and then be able to get the thumbs up?
No, that's great question, Scott. We actually had some people last month. They had some headers for a car, and they've been making these out of all these little pie-shaped pieces, and that's all they had to work with. I said, listen, send me your part, we'll scan it, we'll optimize it, so you can make maybe one bend instead of 20 little pie-shaped cuts. So we're actually able to take that model and optimize it for our customer, and then give them that whole digital twin for them, as well as create them a digital fixture at the same time.
Yeah, see, that's ideal, and I would imagine quality goes through the roof. Like you don't have to worry about, hey, that thing wasn't bent properly or whatever it might be. Quality is huge.
That's right. You can't blame Chip on the shop floor anymore for making it wrong, because we're going to put a fixture in front of every person that's out there on the shop floor, so they're checking their own inspection. In fact, our throughput time, once we introduced it into the tubing side of our business, we were able to literally cut down our time 25% throughput, just because of we didn't have to backtrack. Our rejections went down because you're catching any problems at the very beginning of the process instead of waiting till final inspection. So it's been a huge help.
So that allows you to be more competitive in the market with your high-end client.
Yes,
who is saying you need to reduce your price and improve your quality.
Exactly.
That's always a fun conversation. You just like that conversation? It's like, yeah.
I feel like it's coming again. So I got to figure a better mousetrap now.
But speaking of that, what do you see that is sort of on the horizon from a technology perspective of how you're going to sort of do that?
So we've
AI.
Yes, AI is it. It actually is. So we are working on auto generation of our fixtures, so that instead of being able to have our engineers craft each one specifically, we're working on being able to create something that will get us 80% there.
Right.
It's never going to be 100%. AI is great. right? The journey is going to just be long. It'll get better and better. But, we really want to get this to where we're reducing the amount of time that our engineers are doing specifically to let AI help auto-generate more of our fixture and then have us finish off the final parts of this to where we're scanning and validating the fixture would be the most of the work.
Wow.
Fun stuff.
Wow. This has been a great conversation.
Yeah, Scott.
It went by fast.
It has been by fast.
Lickety split. So if somebody, how does somebody get a hold of you? Like, what's the best way to do that?
I tell you what, LinkedIn is always a very big, easy button.
Yes.
We love that. FX3D.com, baby.
I like that. Check this out. Again, look at that. They're magnets. They're magnets. You are fantastic. I like that, Chris.
Thanks, Scott.
I'm all giddy now. All right. We're going to have all the contact information for Chris out on Industrial Talk. So reach out. If anything, he can. Are you an open book? It's like, hey, if I called you and I said, hey, I want to know a little bit more, you'd
bring it. That's why I put my number on there.
Yeah, there you go. See? Right there. All right. Everybody wants everybody to be successful. Why not? All right. We are broadcasting from FABTECH. It is in Orlando, Florida. It is the size of a small state. That's what this place is. And it has solutions everywhere. And you get to meet people like Chris who's passionate about your success. All right, we're going to wrap it up on the other side. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
Yeah, that was FABTECH. A must-attend event. It's an amazing show where you can kick the tires of all of the fabulous solutions and the innovations that are taking place. That's FABTECH. It's an annual event. You in manufacturing? Yes, you need to put that on your calendar in a big way. You get to meet people like Chris Harbaugh. The organization or the company is FX3D. And right here, check it out. Check it out in the camera. I still have the magnets. It's more of a fidget than anything. I'll just sit there and click them together. Fantastic solution. Reach out to them. You got all the contact information for Chris out on Industrial Talk. We're building a platform, Industrial Talk. This year, make it happen. Connect with me. You have a podcast? Connect with me. You have technology? Connect with me. All right. Be bold. Be brave. Dare greatly. Hang out with Chris. Change the world. We're going to have another great conversation shortly, so stay tuned.